In the sterile confines of the hospital stairwell, a confrontation brews. Olivia's hands grip my shoulders, a silent threat. "You're pathetic," she hisses, her voice dripping with scorn. "Mom and Dad will never believe you anyway." Tension escalates in the sterile hospital stairwell as I try to maneuver past Olivia. I assert my purpose, my voice tinged with impatience. "Move, Olivia. Grandma's waiting." Olivia's retort drips with resentment, the sterile air thickening with unspoken animosity. Olivia's words cut through the air. "Always the perfect granddaughter, aren't you? Making everyone else look bad with your daily visits and your little care packages." The weight of Olivia's accusation hangs heavy, the scent of antiseptic doing nothing to cleanse the bitterness. In the cold, sterile stairwell, unspoken resentments hang heavy as Emma stands, the air thick with tension. Olivia's grip tightens, fingers digging into Emma's shoulders as she confronts her. Emma struggles to maintain composure, her voice wavering as she insists. "This isn't about you. It's about Grandma." Olivia's pent-up fury erupts as she spits out. "Everything is about you, Emma. It always has been. Poor little Emma. So smart, so caring, so perfect. I'm sick of it." The betrayal hits like a physical blow as Olivia's hands strike, sending me spiraling. The world blurs as I lose control, the unforgiving stares rising up to claim me. Each impact is a brutal reminder of my fall. Every edge a fresh wave of agony. Down, 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 I plunge. An endless cascade of pain and helplessness. The unforgiving staircase continues its assault, each step a stark reminder of treachery. Pain overwhelms me as I stumble to a halt on the stairwell landing, vision blurring. Through my fading sight, Olivia bursts down the stairs, panic etched on her face. Olivia desperately pulls out her phone, her fingers flying as she dials. Olivia's voice cracks with fear as she cries into the phone. "Mom, Dad, come quick." Emma fell down the stairs. I tried to catch her, but I couldn't reach her in time. In the Stark Hospital stairwell, Olivia and Emma are caught in the sterile fluorescent light, unaware of the impending arrival. The stairwell door bursts open as their parents rush in, anxiety etched on their faces. Mom, her voice laced with panic, cries out, "Oh my God, Emma." She embraces Olivia, seeking to comfort her after the terrifying ordeal. Mom soothes Olivia, uttering, "You poor thing. You must have been so scared watching your sister fall." The sterile hospital setting contrasts sharply with the raw emotion of the family's reunion. In the Stark Hospital stairwell, Dad's face displays worry. The cold air hangs heavy as Dad's voice breaks the silence. "Emma, what were you thinking? Running in a stairwell at your age?" Emma's eyes widen, and she responds, "I didn't." Olivia pushed. Emma's voice cracks as she reveals the truth. Dad's expression shifts from worry to disbelief. In the sterile stairwell landing, Olivia and Mom confront each other, the air thick with accusation and despair. Olivia's face is a canvas of anguish, tears cutting paths through her distress. "Don't you dare!" Olivia cries, her voice cracking with raw emotion. "I tried to save you." Mom's response is a cold denial. "How can you lie about this? Your sister is traumatized enough without you making up stories." Chaos erupts as Nurse Martinez and her team burst onto the stairwell landing. Nurse Martinez kneels beside me, her face etched with worry. "What happened here?" Nurse Martinez's voice cuts through the tension. A younger nurse urgently calls to Nurse Martinez, her tone filled with alarm. "Nurse Martinez, you need to see this." In the sterile stairwell landing, a breath catches in my throat as I steel myself to speak. Mother's voice cuts through the air, filled with a desperate urgency. "Not now. Our daughter had an accident. She was running and fell down the stairs. Her sister tried to catch her." Nurse Martinez's eyes narrow imperceptibly, a flicker of doubt crossing her face as she glances between her tablet, Olivia, and me. A subtle shift in Nurse Martinez's expression hints at a growing suspicion, an unspoken question hanging in the air. The weight of unspoken truth settles heavily in the stairwell, each glance and pause amplifying the tension. In the sterile confines of the hospital stairwell landing, Mr. and Mrs. Sullivan stand paralyzed by fear. Nurse Martinez's stern voice shatters the silence. "Mrs. Sullivan, Mr. Sullivan, I need you to step back. We have to examine your daughter." As the medical team rushes to the daughter's side, Nurse Martinez urgently speaks into her phone. Her hushed command pierces the tense atmosphere. "Security, I need the footage from stairwell B. Last 10 minutes. Yes. Send it directly to Dr. Kane and contact hospital administration." In the sterile stairwell landing, the sister's face loses all color, a stark white against the dim light. An oppressive silence descends, heavy with unspoken questions that hang in the stale air. A flicker of red light betrays the presence of a small security camera, nestled discreetly in the corner. A collective dread washes over everyone as the realization dawns. They are being watched. The sister's voice trembles as she breaks the silence. "What footage?" In the stark hospital stairwell, Nurse Martinez stands unyielding. My father gestures wildly, his face burning with anger. Nurse Martinez retorts, "Standard hospital security. Every stairwell is monitored. For patient safety, of course," my father declares furiously. "This is a family matter." Nurse Martinez responds sternly. "Sir, what I just witnessed on that security feed is assault. This isn't a family matter anymore." In the sterile hospital stairwell landing, Olivia's tears vanish, replaced by a cold mask. As I am lifted onto the stretcher, the flawless facade of my sister starts to disintegrate. Olivia's voice drips with venom. "You can't prove anything," Nurse Martinez retorts sharply. "Camera footage doesn't lie. Unlike some people." Nurse Martinez leans in, her expression serious as she looks at the patient being wheeled out. Nurse Martinez whispers with determination, "You're safe now. We won't let them sweep this under the rug." The patient on the wheeled bed stares upward, hope flickering in their eyes. A quiet realization dawns. For the first time in years, someone might finally see the truth. The emergency room is a symphony of chaos, a place where life hangs precariously amidst the relentless beeping of machines and the hurried footsteps of medical staff. The air crackles with tension, filled with the strained voices of those fighting to save lives. On a screen, stark X-rays reveal a grim tableau of broken bones and contusions, 2 broken ribs, a sprained wrist, and multiple contusions. Each fractured bone tells a silent story of trauma and resilience. Behind a closed door, the voices of my parents surge with rising desperation. My father's anger flares. "This is ridiculous. We're not allowing our daughter to be interrogated like a criminal." Nurse Martinez's cold pronouncement cuts through the tension. "Your daughter pushed her sister down a flight of stairs. The police have already been called." My father clenches his fists, his face flushed with anger and disbelief. My mother's voice, laced with fear, rises in protest, but is quickly subdued by Nurse Martinez's stern reply. The weight of Nurse Martinez's words crashes down, a chilling prelude to the chaos about to unfold. The air in the hospital hallway vibrates with the sterile scent of antiseptic, a silent testament to unseen battles. Through a narrow opening in the curtain, a hushed argument unfolds as my mother's strained voice echoes. "It was an accident," my mother insists, her voice laced with desperation. "Family matters should be handled within the family." Nurse Martinez inches closer, her expression unreadable as she challenges. "Mrs. Sullivan, in the past hour we've reviewed security footage from previous visits. This isn't the first incident we've captured in our stairwells." The sterile environment amplifies the tension as unspoken accusations hang heavy in the air, a stark reminder of the secrets hidden within. In the chaotic emergency room, Dr. Kane's decisive action cuts off the outside world, cocooning Emma in a sphere of hushed tension. The sterile confines of the emergency room become a stage for intimate revelation as Dr. Kane turns towards Emma. With gentle gravity, Dr. Kane's voice breaks the silence, initiating a delicate yet crucial conversation. "Emma," she said gently. The weight of unspoken history hangs heavy as Dr. Kane broaches the subject. "We need to talk about your previous hospital visits." The simple statement hangs in the air, hinting at a past filled with pain and unanswered questions. The room seems to shrink as Emma braces herself for a confrontation with her own medical history. In the sterile emergency room, I avoid her gaze, focusing intently on my trembling hands. Tears stream down my face, betraying the turmoil within. Her voice pierces the silence. "I'm clumsy." The gravity of her words sinks in, each syllable a hammer blow. "We have 6 documented accidents in the past year alone, all with your sister present. I'll dismiss as your fault." Her final words echo, sealing my fate. Under the harsh fluorescent lights of the emergency room, Emma sits perched on the hospital bed, her face a canvas of anxiety and pallor. The doctor stands firm, her sympathetic gaze masking an unyielding resolve. Emma's voice trembles. "You don't understand. My parents, they'll never..." The doctor cuts her off, her words a stark declaration. "Your parents aren't in charge anymore. You're an adult, Emma, and we're mandated reporters." The doctor concludes. This stops today. In the sterile intensity of the emergency room, Detective Morris appears, her gaze both gentle and piercing. Notebook in hand, she approaches, her presence a subtle storm gathering on the horizon. I watch, a silent observer, as the carefully constructed walls of my family begin to crack. The interview begins, each question a subtle tremor threatening to collapse the facade. The weight of unspoken truths hangs heavy as the interrogation intensifies, threatening to shatter the fragile peace. The emergency room air hangs heavy with the scent of antiseptic, the scene illuminated by harsh fluorescent lights. A shift on the unforgiving plastic chair, the doctor's piercing gaze intensifies. The doctor's question cuts through the silence. "Has your sister always been violent towards you?" Hesitation hangs in the air, thick and heavy. I finally utter, "It escalated after Grandma changed her will last year." The emergency room buzzes, its fluorescent lights casting a pale, sterile glow. Changed her will? She decided to leave her house to me instead of Olivia. I work from home so I could take care of her there. It made sense, but Olivia didn't take it well. A bitter laugh escapes. That's an understatement. In the sterile emergency room, Detective Morris pauses, his pen suspended in midair above the notepad. His gaze intensifies as he looks across at the woman, his expression unreadable, a silent question hanging in the air. Detective Morris breaks the silence. "Your grandmother's house. What's it worth?" The woman responds, her voice steady. "About 1.2 million. It's in the historic district." Detective Morris's eyes narrow, the weight of the woman's words sinking in. Detective Morris leans forward, delivering a sharp observation. That's quite a motive. Amidst the sterile hum of the emergency room, Jake's phone vibrates urgently, signaling an ominous intrusion. Jake pulls out his phone, the screen illuminating his face with an unsettling glow as he reads the message from an unknown sender. The message reveals a chilling video file, accompanied by a haunting message. "Thought you might need this, Jake. Hospital security." The weight of the message sinks in, casting a shadow of unease over Jake, as the sterile environment of the emergency room amplifies his sense of dread. A monitor flickers to life in the sterile emergency room, casting a cold glow. Olivia, caught on grainy video, stands in a stairwell, her voice dripping with malice as she speaks on her phone. "I don't care what it takes. Once Grandma's gone, that house is mine." She hisses into the receiver. The stairwell seems to amplify her cold-blooded calculation, the silence broken only by her cruel words, a chilling admission. "Emma won't be a problem much longer." Olivia's final chilling words hang in the air. One more accident should convince her to give up her claim. Inside the sterile emergency room, Detective Morris stands, a silent sentinel amidst the chaos. She watches the video, her gaze intense as the screen's light reflects in her narrowed eyes. A grim line etches itself around her mouth, a mask of determination solidifying her resolve. Her voice cuts through the sterile air, a declaration that shatters the illusion of simple assault. She states with conviction, "This changes things. We're not just looking at assault now. This was premeditated." A ripple of hushed whispers cuts through the emergency room, drawing attention to the entrance. Grandma, frail but resolute, appears in her pale blue hospital gown, a beacon of defiance against the sterile backdrop. Dr. Kane's brow furrows with a mix of worry and annoyance as he guides Grandma, his touch gentle yet firm. Grandma moves forward, her steps slow but steady, into the heart of the bustling emergency room. The emergency room buzzes with controlled chaos, the air thick with antiseptic as monitors beep a constant rhythm. Amidst the frenzy, she stands unyielding, her posture ramrod straight, her gaze unwavering. Her voice slices through the sterile atmosphere with undeniable resolve. "I want to see my granddaughter," she demands, her voice carrying that familiar authority. Bathed in the sterile light of the emergency room, I lie ensnared by wires and tubes, a silent spectacle in my stark white prison. The doctor's gaze is sharp and assessing, her face unreadable as she turns towards my parents. Her stern demeanor cuts through the room as she asks, "How long have you been covering for Olivia?" My parents stand frozen, their faces etched with a mixture of fear and guilt as the weight of the unspoken question hangs heavy in the air. In the sterile environment of the emergency room, tension escalates as Mother begins to speak, only to be cut off by Grandma's sudden interruption. Detective Morris's tablet casts a stark light, revealing security footage that promises to expose hidden truths. Grandma's voice rises with years of suppressed frustration. "I've watched you dismiss Emma's injuries for years. I said nothing, hoping you'd finally see the truth." With unwavering resolve, Grandma declares, "But this," she gestures dramatically at the security footage, "this ends now." In the sterile hum of the emergency room, Olivia advances, her face betraying nothing. Olivia's voice cuts through the tension. "Grandma, you don't understand." Grandma's reply pierces the air. "I understand perfectly. I understand that money and jealousy matter more to you than family. I understand that your parents have enabled your behavior until it escalated to attempted murder." In the sterile emergency room, a father lies helpless in his hospital bed, his eyes wide with a mix of fear and confusion. Detective Morris stands beside the bed, his arms crossed, his expression unreadable. The father sputters in disbelief. "Murder?" I sputter. "That's absurd." Detective Morris calmly responds, "Actually, sir, given the premeditation evidence and the height of that stairwell, attempted murder charges aren't off the table." The father's eyes dart nervously, betraying a flicker of guilt beneath his protestations. The sterile emergency room fades as Olivia's composure crumbles, her perfect mask shattered by raw emotion. Rage contorts Olivia's face as she whirls, her fingers stabbing accusingly toward me. Her voice cracks, raw with fury and despair, as she unleashes her accusation. "This is all your fault." Her voice escalates, echoing through the sterile environment. "You've ruined everything." In the sterile environment of the emergency room, two police officers emerge, handcuffs glinting under the harsh lights. Olivia is escorted toward the exit, her expression unreadable until a flicker betrays her. A chilling revelation dawns. The narrator sees a raw, primal fear in Olivia's eyes. That fear, a haunting mirror, reflects years of the narrator's own silent terror. Olivia's vulnerability becomes starkly visible as she is led away. The narrator remains frozen, grappling with the haunting realization of shared dread. Within the sterile confines of the emergency room, Grandma's worry casts a shadow over Emma's bedside. Her frail hand reaches out, offering a gentle yet firm touch to Emma, a silent promise of comfort. Grandma's voice cracks with regret as she whispers to Emma, "I'm so sorry, Emma." A wave of guilt washes over Grandma as she continues. I should have done something sooner. In the sterile silence of the emergency room, Grandma's words hang heavy with unspoken fears. Her touch lingers, a fragile lifeline connecting two generations in a moment of crisis. The cold, sterile hallway stretches endlessly as I am wheeled along, each turn a step further into the unknown. Through a haze, I catch a fleeting glimpse of my parents, their figures small and fading. Their faces, etched with worry, tell a story of denial shattering into stark reality. My father stands beside her, his shoulders slumped as their world crumbles around them. The sterile hallway fades as I am wheeled away, leaving my parents behind, swallowed by their growing despair. 6 months later, the morning sun casts a gentle glow over Grandma's house, now mine. The Victorian details gleam, a testament to enduring beauty. Though the bruises have faded, the scars of the past remain etched in memory. Life has undergone a profound transformation, leaving an indelible mark. The house stands as a silent witness to resilience and renewal. At Grandma's house, a wraparound porch hints at stories untold and memories cherished. From the porch, Grandma's voice echoes with warmth, inviting all to share in the simple joys of home. A gentle call, tea's ready. Grandma's successful surgery marked a new chapter, transforming the house into a true home, filled with love and laughter. The peaceful porch of Grandma's house, a haven of warmth and memories. A familiar car approaches, promising comfort and connection. Nurse Martinez Sarah steps out, a harbinger of sweet weekend mornings. The scent of fresh scones fills the air, mingling with the promise of shared moments. I approach Grandma's house, each step a reminder of how life has changed. After the incident, Sarah became more than a nurse. She became family. Sarah stands in the doorway, her voice warm and welcoming. "How's my favorite former patient?" Her greeting cuts through the silence, a gentle reminder of the bond we share. Carrying the bakery box, I say softly, "Better every day." I continue, sharing a hopeful update. The therapy's really helping. Settling into the familiar rhythm of Sunday, we gather on the porch, surrounded by the warmth of tea, scones, and heartfelt conversation. Healing begins. The porch transforms into a sanctuary of solace and recovery, a ritual of hope. Bathed in the fading light of the afternoon sun, Sarah stands before Grandma's house, her expression a canvas of worry, her voice laced with anxiety. Sarah asks, "Have you heard from them?" A silent nod confirms the unspoken anticipation hanging in the air. The narrator continues, revealing the thread of hope. "Mom sent an email yesterday." The air thickens with anticipation as the narrator reveals, "They want to meet, to talk." At Grandma's house, the teacup clanks against its saucer. The sound echoes in the stillness. Grandma asks, her voice cutting through the quiet, "And what did you say?" Silence hangs heavy before the reply. I agreed. A pause then, on my terms. The terms. At Dr. Thompson's office with her present. At Grandma's house, Olivia speaks softly, revealing a hidden truth while glancing down at her hands. Olivia confesses. Olivia has been writing too. Sarah's expression softens with understanding as she replies, "From prison, I haven't opened the letters yet." Offering silent support, Sarah gently reaches over and squeezes Olivia's hand, reassuring, "You don't have to. Not until you're ready." The sterile environment of Dr. Thompson's office greets me, a space where I feel a newfound strength. Sunlight streams through the window, casting shadows that dance with my resolve. Each step I take echoes with the promise of a future where I dictate my own narrative. The air is thick with unspoken anticipation as the meeting with my parents looms. I pause, drawing a deep breath, ready to face whatever lies ahead with unwavering courage. The room feels like a sanctuary, a place where I can finally stand tall and assert my truth. Inside Dr. Thompson's office, a stark silence hangs as my parents sit rigidly on the couch. They appear diminished, their presence lacking the intimidating aura I once knew. Mom begins tentatively, her voice trembling slightly. Emma, we've been doing a lot of work in therapy, and her words hang in the air. A fragile bridge, attempting to mend fractured connections. The weight of unspoken history presses down, a palpable tension filling the room. Each breath is measured, each glance fraught with the complexities of past wounds and hesitant hopes. In the sterile confines of Dr. Thompson's office, sunlight casts long shadows, illuminating the stark contrast between doctor and mother. Dr. Thompson's voice fills the room. I appreciate that, Mom. She pauses, her expression hardening as she declares, but this meeting isn't about your progress. It's about establishing clear boundaries for our future relationship. Her gaze intensifies, her voice firm as she continues. And that starts with acknowledging the past. The weight of unspoken words hangs heavy in the air. In the quiet sanctuary of Dr. Thompson's office, her silent support is a beacon of hope. A deep breath fills me, preparing to confront the shadows of the past. A new path begins to materialize, clear and inviting. The weight of the past begins to lift, replaced by a sense of lightness and freedom, ready to step forward, casting off the chains that once bound me. The office, now a safe haven, echoes with the promise of a brighter future.